Today, we're going to be looking at Cricut Infusible Inks. The Infusible ink sheets from Cricut are essentially just sublimation pages. Sublimation is the process where, when heat is applied to the other side of your paper, it makes the ink change from an ink state to a gas state, and that gas is then transferred onto the substance that you are pressing it onto. This will only work on polyester or special sublimation coating products, as the ink needs to adhere to the polyester within those items. So you won't be able to use this on cotton. You will need something like Easy Subli or another type of material on the cotton in order for that to work. I've been very excited to play with my Infusible inks since I got them, so this is the chance. I've of course played quite a bit with sublimation inks, so this is something nice and new that I get to play with and bring you along for the ride. We even have a little helper joining us today. Say hi, Fred. Camera shy? He's camera shy. My name is Kelly, and let's get clacking. What I'm going to be testing today is a little heart keyring that I have that I got from JG Electronics, as I unfortunately don't yet have any proper Cricut blanks. And I will also be demonstrating this on a piece of polyester fabric. We need to treat Infusible ink pretty much exactly the same as we would for iron-on. We need to make sure that the design is mirrored, and we need to weed the design as well. There are generally a few differences that we would suggest with this kind of thing. As an example, the backing is white, so what we could do is, because we're using plain sheets and we're cutting out color, we need to make sure that if we wanted to have a name on this, as an example, that we would cut the name out and the name would remain in white, and that the rest of this item would be in the color. You can do it the other way if you like. This is just the method that I prefer. So I'm going to do an approximate sizing of this little heart. I'm going to make sure that the size is slightly bigger so that we don't have any white bits on either side showing through. So this heart is approximately 6 centimeters by 4 centimeters. So the circle that I'm going to cut here will be 7 by 5, just to make sure, like I said, that we overlap the edges and we don't have any cut off bits on the side that'll have the white show through. So I'm going to add a square in here, and then I'm going to unlock the aspect ratio, and I'm going to make this around 7 centimeters by 5 centimeters, just to make sure that we've got all these little bits covered in. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually add a second shape. So I'm going to maybe do an offset on this one. So let's do a little bit smaller of an offset. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm essentially going to use this as my weeding box. So I'm going to highlight these two shapes. I'm going to click slice, because when we cut and when we weed this design, we want to know exactly where the area is so we can waste as little of the Infusible ink sheet as possible. So I'm going to delete that one. And out of this box, I'm going to then create a text, and I'm going to add a name on it. I'm then going to change the font, and I'm going to be using a nice Cricut font here. This one is a very pretty font, so let's download that one, and I'm going to use that one. Oh, that's very nice. I'm going to resize it a little bit just to make sure that it'll fit inside the middle of the heart. I'm going to need to make the height around 3 centimeters. And I'm going to, once again, select both layers, and I'm going to slice. So here we can see this is essentially what we will end up with on our Infusible ink sheets, this part here. So this is essentially what we will be pressing onto the keyring, and the gray section here will be the weeded area so we know where to cut it off. So if we stack those both on top of each other, select them both, align to the center, and then we can attach them because we want everything to cut in one section, and we can just delete those two because we don't need them. Then we can save this and send this to the maker to cut the Infusible ink sheets. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to warm up my heat press so that it's ready when we're good to go. In your Infusible ink box, you will also get some silicone papers. Silicone papers is typically what you would use on top of your product while you're pressing it. I have an extra Teflon coating on my heat press, so I don't need to worry about using these. I can use them underneath to protect my pressing pillow, but I really don't need it, as all you need to do is use a little alcohol swab. What I have, you can see there's the Infusible ink that I just wiped off the Teflon sheet. So it works out quite nicely. If you're finding this content helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Cricut tutorials in the future. Okay, so now that that's cut, we can weed it off the page. So we can just take our transfer sheet off. And then you'll also notice how you cut into the top of the transfer sheet. That's very important. It's just like HTV in that regard, where you need to actually cut into what you're transferring and not into the carrier sheet on the back. So let's just cut this out a little bit. So I am just pulling this weeding box off. And now we can clearly see where we need to cut around the side so we don't waste too much infusible ink. So we can put this aside and use it for another project. What we can also do is we can also save these scraps. Because you can use this on polyester type fabrics, you could potentially do something quite pretty with this. So when it comes to these kinds of scraps, I tend to save pretty much all of them and use them at a later stage. So now we can start with weeding out the name Lily. The infusible ink paper is quite thick, so if you are only getting the top layer, try and be a little bit more brave and go a little bit deeper, as you won't necessarily go through the transfer sheet, but you will need to grab a little bit more paper than what you think you might, just to be able to weed it properly. It is weeding quite nicely. I'm just going a little bit slower because I'm always a little bit scared of it tearing off, which it is not, but I always weed more on the cautious side of things. So now when we press this onto the heart, so you see we're going to have a little bit of infusible ink left over. This part where you can see the carrier sheet will actually remain white and everything else will then have this beautiful mermaid pattern. So what we want to do is try and get it in the middle. So you can then just fold it a little bit, and I like to press it a little bit at the top and the bottom just to see where the center is, and then we have it on the page. And that is pretty much going to be centered. So now what I like to do with these types of things is I like to put heat transfer tape on this to make sure that it stays, as any movement of the infusible ink sheet will cause what we call ghosting. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like iron-on, where if you stick it down, it will glue in the place. Because it's the ink that's transferring onto the substrate, you need to make sure that you're maintaining exactly the same location. Otherwise, when you move it, that ink will then, instead of transferring here, it will have transferred maybe 30% here and maybe 70% in the next space. So you'll have a line, like a shadow line in the one section, which is not ideal. So I have heat resistant tape here, and I just use that to stick it down so that it doesn't move. Another thing that you can also do while you're waiting for the heat press to warm up is you can trim off the excess here, as you know that you won't need it. And like I mentioned earlier, the stuff is quite expensive and it is so beautiful, so why not save it for another project? And also, just so you know, you don't need to put this much heat tape on here. I was just not very clever with the placement of my tape, so it's not sticking down as well as I'd like it to do. So if you're a little bit smarter than me and a little bit more strategic, then it'll work fine. I'm also not putting the heat tape on this side, because even though the heat tape allows heat to pass through it, I want to make sure that there's not a slight change in color where the heat tape was, because there was an additional layer. So I prefer to not put anything on the top side and to only put it on the underside of the item. And then we can place this face up like this. So if you're using an easy press, you will then press on top of it like this. But because I don't have an easy press and I'm using a heat press rather, I'm going to put it onto my heat press with a piece of paper underneath, as I don't want any of that transferring onto the rubber sheet that I have on my heat press. So I typically use a piece of copy paper or a piece of Teflon paper that you can easily just wipe off, as this will stain whatever you're pressing it onto. Most sublimation products press at between 190 and 200 degrees Celsius, or around 400 degrees Fahrenheit, for between 60 and 90 seconds. Depends very much on the material that you're transferring it onto, but for this I'm going to use 190 degrees Celsius, or I think it's about 385 degrees Fahrenheit, for 90 seconds. This is what it'll come out looking like, and as you can see, there are little white bits here. That was because the heat tape got underneath, in between the infusible ink page and the blank, so obviously it stopped for the infusible ink from transferring onto the blank. So that's just something to be aware of. You can also quite clearly see how much of the ink is actually transferred onto the blank, and that's pretty much what you want to see as well. If you're seeing a lot of ink left over here and this is very dull, then it's one of two things. Either your heat isn't high enough, or you haven't pressed it for long enough. I also tried the infusible ink on a piece of fabric that I have. It's this little piece here. And as you can see, it is just about as bright as this one. Obviously, it'll look slightly different on fabric. When it comes to using fabric with infusible ink or sublimation, I would highly suggest using as high a polyester count as possible. Many people say that you should only use 100%. I don't necessarily agree with this because anything above 65% will still look very good. Keeping in mind that the lower the polyester count, the duller the end product will look. So if this was a 40% polyester, it would look quite washed out and almost opaque. But because this is 100% polyester, the color tends to be a lot brighter. So keep that in mind when you are choosing your blanks. And of course, like I mentioned at the beginning, it will not work on 100% cotton. It may look like it works initially. It'll be very dull. It'll pretty much wash out because cotton is a natural fiber and infusible inks or sublimation don't adhere to natural fibers. So don't use cotton t-shirts. Well, thank you so much for joining. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more Cricut craft tutorials in the future. And remember, be kind to someone today. See you soon.